Testing audio, check 1 2. Testing audio, check 1 2.
As we begin today's meeting, I'd like to acknowledge that we are gathering here today on the traditional territories of the Mississaugas of the Credit Haudenosaunee Wendat nations, who have called this land home since time memorial. We recognize the Mississaugas of the Credit as the original rights holders and signatories of Treaty 19, the Gentins Purchase of 1818. The agreements made therein are foundational to our nation-to-nation relationship. As a city, we are committed to our ongoing role in reconciliation through meaningful action rooted in truth, justice, and respect. Please all rise for the singing of our national anthem, to be followed by a moment of personal reflection.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for
This takes us to approval of the agenda, and we have some revisions from the clerk.
Thank you, Mayor Brown. The following items have been added to the revised agenda. 6.1, Proclamation G was withdrawn. 7.2, delegation from David and Dale Lang. The delegation was published. 7.3, delegation from Zonta Club was added. 8.1, Government Relations presentation was published. 10.2.1, report regarding correspondence for the Integrity Commissioner. Report was published. 10.4.2, report to request begin procurement. The report was published. 18.11, Bylaw 82-2026, to adopt official plan amendment. The bylaw title was revised and published. And 19.5, Road Safety Initiatives Fund Update and Peel Regional Police Road Safety Intelligence Platform. The item was added.
Okay. Thank you to the clerk, and I believe we have a request from the Integrity Commissioner to be placed at a different part of the agenda due to court proceedings today. Do we know specifically what time?
She had asked for 9:45, but if we want to change it, I can give her a specific time.
Okay, so maybe we'll, after the proclamations. I think we'll probably do the proclamations pretty quickly, so maybe 9:45, yeah. Yeah. Okay. I have a motion moved by the Deputy Mayor and seconded by Councillor Keenan to approve the agenda as amended. All those in favor? Motion carries. This takes us to declarations of pecuniary interest. Conflict of interest. Are there any conflicts of interest? Seeing none, the clerk will note for the meeting agenda and note minutes. We have the City Council minutes before us today. Minutes, City Council, April 22nd. We have a motion moved by Councillor Palashi, seconded by Councillor Brar, to approve the minutes as published and circulated. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. This takes us to our consent motion. Government Relations Matters, 8.1. 10.21 and 10.41 are held for delegations. 10.42, staff report, request to begin procurement, hiring of general contractor, early works construction services, redevelopment of Ken Willens Square and the northeast corner of Gage Park. I think we'll hold that. Some questions. 12.1, summary recommendations, Planning and Development Committee. 12.1. 12.2, Minutes Committee of Council. I have a note here, hold for a delegation. Is there
It's the delegation about Heartland Light. Councillor, do you want the minutes held?
No, the report I want.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay. A motion for Zonta Club Park renaming, that's hold for delegation. Correct, Councillor Santos?
Withdrawn.
Is this withdrawn? The Zonta, and the motion too?
The motion's not withdrawn, no.
Oh. So we'll put the motion, we'll put the motion into consent then, or do you want it held?
Sure.
In consent. Referred matters list, 16.1. 19.1, closed session minutes. 19.2, Committee of Council. 19.3, Queen Street Official Planning. 19.4, closed report. Hold. And 19.5 is the Road Safety Initiatives Fund Update and Peel Regional Police Safety Intelligence Platform. This is the grant application with a recommendation to support. Are there any questions on that? If not, we can put that into consent and Deputy Odwari can go back to the brilliant work he does. So with the recommendation to consent to support the grant application. I have a motion moved by Councillor Toor, seconded by Councillor Power to approve the consent motion. All those in favor? Motion carries. This takes us to announcements. And we have a number of proclamations. And Councillor Toor helped me by distributing them before council, so I may get wrong who has which proclamation. Emergency Preparedness Week. Deputy Mayor Singh.
Thank you. Whereas Emergency Preparedness Week is a national awareness initiative that takes place every year during the first full week of May. This year's EP Week runs from May 3rd to 9th, 2026, and the theme is Prepared Together. Whereas the intent of the week is to promote, educate, and bring awareness on how residents can take action to be better prepared in the event of an emergency like a winter storm, a power outage, or flooding event. The kickoff event to EP Week will be held on Saturday, May 2nd, 2026 at Bremley City Center Mall. Whereas the City of Brampton Emergency Management Office will continue its public education initiative, focusing on 72-hour emergency kits. During EP Week, Brampton's Emergency Management Office will distribute 300 emergency kits to residents with the help of Achieve Brampton and Peel Living. Whereas throughout the week, Brampton's Emergency Management Office will set up public education booths at various locations across the city to inform and educate residents about personal preparedness. Therefore, I, Mayor Patrick Brown, on behalf of Brampton City Council, do hereby proclaim May 3rd to 9th, 2026 as Emergency Preparedness Week in the city of Brampton.
Is there a delegate? Of course.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Harpreet, and I work on with the Brampton Emergency Management Team. So this week is Emergency Preparedness Week. We hope to engage over 1,200 residents across the community as a part of this initiative. Through the support of our partners, we have already distributed over 250 emergency kits to newcomers through the group at Achieve and to low-income residents and seniors through Peel Living. Public education booths are being hosted all across the city. We recently did some at Peel Memorial Hospital and at Brampton Civic Hospital yesterday, where we saw hundreds of our community members and staff. We'll be hosting an event at Cassie Campbell Community Center on Thursday, alongside other initiatives and programs at other valued community partners. Throughout the week, we've had daily social media messages, mobile signs across our city, talking about the importance of personal preparedness and building a 72-hour emergency kit. I also want to share that last year, the team at Brampton Emergency Management proactively participated in over 80 community events, resulting in more than 10,000 resident interactions. This year, we plan to surpass those numbers with the addition of a new door-to-door emergency preparedness campaign, which we hope to launch in the coming weeks. Thank you very much to members of council. Thank you very much to our mayor for helping us build a more safe, more resilient, and better prepared Brampton. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Harpreet. Our next proclamation is for Economic Development Week. And the chair of our Economic Development Committee, Councillor Tour, has this.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Whereas Economic Development Week provides an opportunity to recognize the important contributions of economic development in shaping strong, resilient, and vibrant communities, supporting job creation, enabling business success, and enhancing overall quality of life. The City of Brampton is committed to advancing sustainable economic growth by fostering entrepreneurship, attracting investment, and building collaborative partnerships that support a dynamic and inclusive local economy. Professionals in the field of economic development serve as catalysts for community progress, uniting public, private, and non-profit sectors to drive innovation, expand opportunities, and strengthen economic competitiveness. Within the City of Brampton, this work supports one of Canada's fastest growing and most diverse communities, its skilled talent base, and its vision for inclusive prosperity. For more than 35 years, the City of Brampton's Economic Development Office has worked year-round to strengthen the local economy through business retention and expansion, investment attraction, entrepreneurial support, strategic partnerships, and the promotion of Brampton as a destination for opportunity and growth. The City of Brampton is undergoing a significant transformation driven by investments in technology, entrepreneurship, and its innovation district, attracting a growing number of companies and skilled workers. This progress highlights the importance of economic development in building a strong, innovative, and sustainable community for the future. Together, these efforts help raise awareness of the value of economic development, foster collaboration across sectors, and contribute to long-term prosperity and community pride throughout the City of Brampton. Therefore, I, Mayor Patrick Brown, on behalf of Brampton City Council, do hereby proclaim May 4th to 8th, 2026 as Economic Development Week in the City of Brampton.
And do we have an active representative to respond, or, okay.
Thank you, Councillor Tour. Our team is very excited to celebrate Economic Development Week. The team is here today. We look larger than normal because we have 6 students, so don't get excited. But when we come up for our photo, it will look like our team has grown. We have a robust social media campaign planned this week, and we started off the week with a bang with a grand opening that the Mayor Brown attended, SOCAMAC, with their 3rd location in the City of Brampton, opened this week. They are a French company. Their leadership team was here from France. We really started the week off in a great way. We are also going to be launching a new social media channel for our Innovation District this week. So check your emails, and we look forward to sharing with that with us. So thank you.
Councillor Keenan with a question.
No, not a question, sir. I'm done next.
Okay, our next proclamation is for Dutch Heritage Month, and Councillor Keenan is very eager to read this proclamation.
Thank you, Mayor Brown. Definitely very proud to read it. Dutch Heritage Month, whereas on May 5th, 1945, the Canadian forces were instrumental in the liberation of the Netherlands from occupation during World War II. The Netherlands celebrated its independence and liberty along with the heroic efforts of Canadian forces, with a national holiday known as Liberation Day, which takes place annually on May 5th. Holland Christian Homes, located in Brampton, was incorporated in 1969 by a group of forward-thinking Christians who wanted to see their loved ones cared for in their senior years. In addition to their Christian faith, they share common Dutch roots, having come to settle in Canada primarily after World War II. The Dutch community's impact in Brampton extends beyond their economic contributions. They have actively participated in community organizations, volunteered their time and resources, and shared their traditions and Christian values with open hearts. Their commitment to preserving and sharing their Dutch culture has fostered a sense of unity and inclusivity among our diverse population. Whereas today, the second and third generations of early pioneers are leading and driving Holland Christian Homes to continue to have a strong and engaged membership base, a highly committed member-elected board of directors, and to support a large and faithful volunteers and dedicated care staff to ensure best practices and resident tenant satisfaction. Dutch Heritage Month allows us to take a moment to celebrate the Dutch community's journey, the struggles they have overcome, and the contributions they have made and continue to make to our community. Therefore, Mayor Patrick Brown, on behalf of Brampton City Council, do hereby proclaim May 2026 as Dutch Heritage Month in the city of Brampton.
And Councillor Keaton, is there a particular reason you love the Dutch so much?
Yeah. So my wife says all the time, my wife's family's Dutch, and then my wife's home was at Holland Christian Homes for over 25 years. It was great to be there yesterday with yourself and Councilor Medeiros while we celebrated with the community. So yeah, definitely close to my home and my heart.
And I believe we have a representative from Holland Christian Homes here today to respond to the proclamation. I believe this is the first time we have this proclamation at Brampton City Hall.
Good morning, Your Worship and councilors. My name is Charles Sharda. I'm Vice Chair of the Board, and I'm here with Tracy Camino, our CEO, and Greg Rietstra, a fellow board member. On behalf of Holland Christian Homes, we extend our sincere thanks to the City of Brampton for this meaningful and symbolic proclamation. Proclaiming the month of May as Dutch Heritage Month in the City of Brampton is especially fitting. Each year on May 5, people in the Netherlands celebrate their independence and their liberation, while also honoring the heroic efforts of the Canadian forces and the pivotal role they played in liberating the country during the Second World War. This national holiday in Holland, known as Liberation Day, remains a powerful reminder of freedom, sacrifice, and enduring gratitude. The Dutch people will forever be thankful to Canadians for their profound contribution to their history. This proclamation is particularly close to our hearts. Holland Christian Homes was founded in 1969 by a group of visionary Christians who sought to provide compassionate care for their loved ones in their later years. United not only by their faith, but also by their shared Dutch heritage, many of these founders had immigrated to Canada, primarily following the Second World War. Today, Holland Christian Homes serves more than 1,000 seniors and employs over 700 staff across 2 long-term care homes, 6 independent living apartment towers, all located near Steeles and McLaughlin in this city. At Holland Christian Homes, we proudly celebrate our rich culture and traditions through a variety of events throughout the year, but most importantly, throughout the month of May. Just yesterday, as you mentioned, on May 5th, more than 400 people dressed in orange gathered for our annual flag raising event, where both the Canadian and the Dutch flags were raised in unity. Together, we reflected and celebrated as we marked the 81st anniversary of the liberation of the Netherlands and recognized Dutch Heritage Day. This event serves as a time not only to remember, but to give thanks for the courage and sacrifice of Canadian service members and for the lasting contributions of Dutch Canadians to our country. Holland Christian Homes is proud to be part of that legacy. May is also the season when tulips bloom, flowers that have become a symbol of the enduring friendship between Canada and the Netherlands. This bond has only grown stronger over the years. Each spring, visitors passing by Holland Christian Homes are greeted by gardens in full bloom, their beauty reflecting a rich shared history and an enduring connection. We encourage all the residents of Brampton to take this opportunity to learn more about Dutch heritage and to reflect on the many ways Dutch Canadians have shaped and continue to shape our communities and our country. Thank you for acknowledging the important contributions of Holland Christian Homes and the Dutch people, and thank you for proclaiming May as Dutch Heritage Month in the city of Brampton. In celebration of Dutch Heritage Month, please enjoy a traditional treat. This is for the councilors, not for everyone, sorry. A traditional treat called stroopwafels. This treat is known as the sweetest and most famous waffle in the Netherlands. And we'll leave a bag with Councilor Santos that you can all participate in later. Thank you.
I'm glad you're leaving them with Councillor Santos. There's a better chance it'll get to all of us than if you left it with Councillor Keenan. Thank you, and thank you for Holland Christian Homes. We love Holland Christian Homes in the city of Brampton, do such an incredible job creating such an incredible lifestyle for seniors in our community, and it's a joy to visit regularly with Councillor Medeiros and Councillor Keenan. Our next proclamation is for National Public Works Week, and Councillor Vicente, the chair of our Public Works Committee, has this proclamation.
Thank you very much, Mayor. National Public Works Week. Whereas this year marks the 66th annual celebration of National Public Works Week, a time to recognize the important role public works professionals play in our community. The theme of this year's celebration is Rooted in Service, Powered by Community. Public works professionals are responsible for the infrastructure, facilities, and essential services that form the foundation of sustainable and resilient communities. They support public health, quality of life, and the overall well-being of residents of Brampton. These responsibilities include the construction of community assets such as recreation centers, the maintenance and stewardship of city facilities, catch basin cleaning and seasonal cleanup activities, snow clearing and removal, and year-round road maintenance, ensuring our critical infrastructure remains safe and accessible for essential travel. The delivery and upkeep of these vital services and community assets would not be possible without the dedication and expertise of public works professionals, including engineers, managers, and staff across the entire city who carry out essential work on the front lines. It is important for residents, community leaders, and young people in Brampton to be inspired to learn about and appreciate the vital contribution of public works, recognizing these efforts as essential to building strong, vibrant, and resilient communities. The City of Brampton encourages residents to learn more about the important work that public work professionals play in keeping Brampton safe, clean, and moving. Therefore, I, Mayor Patrick Brown, on behalf of Brampton City Council, do hereby proclaim May 17th through 23rd, 2026 as National Public Works Week in the city of Brampton.
Thank you, Councillor Vasante. Do we have a representative from Public Works to respond, or? Oh, we do. Okay, great. Love all those blue shirts. Okay, come on down.
And thank you, and through the mayor.
Oh, and Commissioner too. Yeah.
We're certainly looking forward to the upcoming National Public Works Week, recognizing our incredible public works professionals. I would like to take the opportunity to thank our Chair of Public Works and Engineering, Councillor Vasante, as well as our Vice Chair, Councillor Keenan, as well as yourself, Mayor, and all members of Council for their continued support for Public Works and Engineering here at the City of Brampton. It is my pleasure to introduce Floyd Moffett, our Supervisor in Facilities, who is also our Chair of National Public Works Week this year, and Floyd will be walking us through the planned events for the week. And I'd also like to recognize the organizing committee for their hard work and dedication over the past few months in preparation for a successful National Public Works Week. Floyd?
Thank you, Peter. Good morning, Mayor Brown, members of council. As Peter mentioned, my name is Floyd Moffett, Chair of this year's National Public Works Week Committee. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Councillor Vasante and Councillor Keenan for sponsoring the National Public Works Week announcement and their ongoing support of all things public works and engineering. Today, I'm pleased to provide a brief overview of National Public Works Week 2026, taking place May 17th to May 23rd. This week recognizes the dedicated public works and engineering staff who keep Brampton safe, moving, and growing. National Public Works Week, and I see we don't have our presentation up, but that's okay. National Public Works Week celebrates professionals who often work behind the scenes and deliver essential city services. The 2026 theme, Rooted in Service, Powered by Community, reflects the pride of our staff and what the pride they take in serving residents. It's also an important opportunity to educate the public about the work that goes into maintaining our infrastructure and environment. a variety of events are planned throughout the week, showcasing staff skills and teamwork. Highlights include the opening ceremonies and flag raising, our bus pull, the Commissioner's Challenge, Truck Rodeo, and Loader Challenge. We also host school tours, environmental education activities, and conclude the week with employee recognition awards. Members of council and mayor, the members of council and the mayor are invited to attend and participate in events during the week. We also host a May food drive with donation bins at City Hall and operation centers throughout the city, supporting residents in need. I also want to take the opportunity to thank Mayor Brown, members of council, for your continued support of Public Works and Engineering, to all staff for participating in all of our events, and joining me today in National Public Works. Joining me today is the National Public Works Committee and staff who have spent several months planning and organizing this event. We look forward to celebrating National Public Works Week together and recognizing the exceptional work of our staff do every day. Thank you. I did not bring cookies. On May 17th, we'll have treats. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. Next, we have Victorian Order of Nurses Week.
Mayor, Victorian Order of Nurses Week. Whereas every year, Victorian Order of Nurses Week is celebrated in concurrence with Queen Victoria's birthday. This week provides an opportunity to raise our profile in the communities we serve. VON Canada has been pioneering care at home for over 120 years. Today, we are a highly trusted non-for-profit organization that works with our clients, employees, volunteers, and partners to provide innovative clinical, personal, and social support to people who want comfort and peace of mind of living in their own homes and communities. At its core, VON is committed to helping clients in the region staying out of long-term care and maintaining the independence for as long as possible in their own homes. VON supports the Canadian healthcare system in innovative, impactful ways. Our dedicated team of VON nurses and caregivers are delivering essential medical care in people's homes. Key services are also being offered in new and safe ways, ensuring people have food security and virtual connections to social support. These efforts are essential and in many cases help reduce further strain on our fellow medical professionals in the hospitals. Many municipal buildings and other event spaces across Ontario and Nova Scotia, which are the two provinces where VON operates, will be proclaiming VON Week in support of visiting nurses, personal support workers, and other VON staff who work tirelessly to keep those in their communities healthy, happy, and safe. A proclamation in the city of Brampton will thank our staff who work in the community. Therefore, I, Mayor Patrick Brown, on behalf of Brampton City Council, do hereby proclaim May 17th to 23rd, 2026 as Victorian Order of Nurses Week in the city of Brampton.
Thank you, and next is Business Continuity and Resilience Awareness Week. Was anybody here for that one? Yep. Oh, for the nurses.
For the nurses.
Oh, okay. Business Continuity and Resilience Awareness Week.
Business Continuity and Resilience Awareness Week. Whereas Business Continuity and Resilience Awareness Week is an international initiative that runs from May 18th to May 22nd, 2026. The theme this year is Think You Are Resilient? Well, think again. The intent of the week is to raise internal awareness of the importance of business continuity and organizational resilience. The City of Brampton, through the Emergency Management Office's Business Continuity Program, evaluates risk faced by the corporation and helps develop plans and strategies to ensure the continuation of municipal services despite planned or unexpected disruptions. Throughout the week, the City of Brampton Emergency Management Office will send out reminders to identify actions that can be taken to improve resiliency for the city services and our Brampton business community. Business continuity information will be posted on the city's internal and public websites, sharing strategies on how staff and businesses can build organizational resiliency. For those looking to create business continuity plans and develop further resilience within their organization, more information can be found on the City of Brampton Emergency Management website. Therefore, I, Mayor Patrick Brown, on behalf of the City of Brampton, do hereby proclaim May 18th to the 22nd, 2026 as Business Continuity and Resiliency Awareness Week in the City of Brampton.
And do we have a representative to respond to? Okay, great.
Good morning, Mayor Brown and members of council. My name is Roland Daly, and I'm an emergency management advisor with the city's Brampton Emergency Management. Business Continuity and Resilience Awareness Week is an annual initiative that highlights the importance of being prepared to maintain essential services during disruptions, whether caused by natural disasters, cyber incidents, or other emergencies. This year's theme, Think You Are Resilient? Well, think again. This challenges us to reassess our assumptions and take meaningful steps to strengthen organizational resilience. Throughout the week, Brampton Emergency Management will share practical information and resources across internal and public channels to support the city, both operations and the broader business community. Thank you for proclaiming Business Continuity and Resilience Awareness Week and for your continued support in strengthening preparedness across our organization and community. Thank you.
Thank you. We are told that we have the Integrity Commissioner online now for her item and that she has arbitration in court. So we're going to accommodate her schedule. And I would note for the groups here for the photo, just sit tight. We're going to do the photos and the remaining announcements after the Integrity Commissioner's item on the agenda. So if we could call up our Integrity Commissioner, Maniza Sheikh.
Good morning to the members of council. Good morning, Mayor Brown.
Okay, we have you virtually.
Yes. Can everyone hear me?
We can.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for the accommodation and time. And just, it is a mediation that I have, Mayor Brown. So I understood that members of council had some questions for me. I'm happy to answer them, or I'm happy to walk members of council through what has transpired with respect to Gurpreet Dillon's matter. I am in your hands, Mayor Brown and members of council, in terms of how you wish to proceed on this.
Yeah, I think it'd be helpful if you walk council through, and then if there's any questions, that we can ask questions at that point, given the recent media coverage.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mayor Brown. So as members of council are aware, there has been some recent media coverage with respect to Gurpreet Dillon and a report that I had rendered and a report that was subsequently judicially reviewed a few years ago. Just to walk members of council through the timeline, because at this point I do think it is quite important, given some of the allegations that have been raised in the media. It was a media report that I did not participate in after seeking some legal advice from my own counsel. So there was a letter that was sent to the direction of council in September of 2023, which was a letter that was allegedly from the complainant with respect to the Gurpreet Dillon matter. And when I say the Gurpreet Dillon matter, if there's any member of council who for whatever reason doesn't recall which matter I'm speaking to specifically, please feel free to interrupt me, but I'm going to assume for the purposes of this presentation that everyone's aware. So that report was sent directly to members of council. Nothing was sent to my attention. There was a request in November of 2023 as per a letter that was sent to both council and city solicitor asking for the report to be removed. I was not contacted by Gurpreet Dillon until July of 2024. And at that time, his counsel requested that I review my report or expunge my report, and relied on the same letter that was allegedly, and I'll explain to members of council why I'm saying allegedly sent by the complainant to council in September of 2023. Now, the letter was forwarded to me, to my attention, but the letter that I received from Gurpreet Dillon's lawyer in July of 2024 had the applicant's or the complainant's name redacted with no other information. So I received a letter. Again, it was the same letter that was sent to council, but the name was redacted. I did advise Mr. Dillon's counsel at the time that there was no way for me to authenticate the document or even confirm who it was from. And to the extent that there were any issues with my report, or there were any issues with my findings, or there were any inaccuracies, I wasn't able to speak to the complainant and understand what those were, given that I didn't have any way to authenticate her identity. On July 19th, 2024, I forwarded the letter to the city clerk and asked if I could address council with respect to the issue, because I did become concerned given the involvement of Gurpreet Dillon and his own lawyer, and asked for that letter to be placed on the agenda. I did so promptly, as I wanted council to be aware of what was happening on my end, recognizing, of course, the independence of my office and my role and the nature of the work that I do. I thought it prudent to seek my own legal advice and retained a lawyer who deals primarily with municipal issues. And I advised the city of this in July of 2024 as well. On August 19th, 2024, I was served by Mr. Dillon's lawyer with a claim and was named alongside Brampton, and I advised the city of the same. In understanding my report and understanding my role, and of course, as members of council are aware, I am an officer of the court as well. I do have an obligation to investigate and look to see if there are changes that I need to make with respect to a report, even if it's a report that I've issued historically. And so again, I asked Mr. Dillon's lawyer to provide me with a letter that was unredacted from the complainant, if he was in fact taking the position that the letter was from the complainant, and ask to forward her contact information, because all of the contact information that I had was no longer valid. The cell phone number was no longer active.
Sorry, 1 second. We've lost some audio. If we could just get that addressed. Okay, can we test your audio now, Muniza?
Absolutely. Mayor Brown, can you hear me now?
Now we can. Maybe just repeat the last paragraph.
Absolutely. So what I was saying, Mayor Brown, was I understood my obligation consistently to investigate. I exhausted all of my own means to try and make contact with the complainant to try and see if she could authenticate the note, because again, all I had was a redacted note that didn't even have her name on it. I was not successful in doing so, and again, made inquiries from Mr. Dillon's lawyer in August of 2024 to assist me in providing contact information. I then continued to engage with my own lawyer and obtain legal advice as to the requisite appropriate steps for me to take. I was reported to Law Pro in September of 2024. So to be clear for members of council, Mr. Dillon's lawyer, which is very, it's not customary at all to take steps like this. When a lawyer is being sued, it is up to that lawyer to, the responsibility lies with that lawyer to report themselves to Law Pro. But instead, Mr. Dillon's lawyer served me with a claim and reported me to Law Pro. And I then had to engage with Law Pro and explain to Law Pro why I was being sued, and then obtained a letter from my counsel who wrote to Mr. Dillon's lawyer in November of 2024, providing a legal opinion as to why I simply could not expunge the report. Namely, Mr. Dillon's lawyer was involved that, consistent with my statutory obligations, I investigated the complaint regarding Mr. Dillon and reported the same to members of council. And on August 5th, 2020, council considered the report and passed a number of resolutions from the report, including adopting my recommendations. And of course, as members of council are aware, there was a judicial review application as well. We also explained to Mr. Dillon's lawyer that I did not have the authority to expunge the report and had attempted to inquire into the new information that allegedly was brought to my attention in a manner that was consistent with my statutory obligations. My first step was to authenticate the letter that Mr. Dillon's lawyer had provided to the city. Again, I mentioned it was redacted. In order to verify the authenticity of the letter, my lawyer confirmed to Mr. Dillon's lawyer that I had unsuccessfully attempted to contact the complainant using her contact information that I had at the initial time of the investigation. And I also attempted to find further contact information for the complainant through online searches. And finally, I contacted the complainant's counsel during the initial investigation, who was Ms. Nadia Klein, without success. And when I looked at the Law Society of Ontario's lawyer contact information directory, it appeared that Ms. Klein was no longer in private practice. We again inquired from Mr. Dillon's lawyer to provide us with any contact information or any assistance really that he had so we could contact this member of the complainant. And that hasn't changed today. I am still not in any position to make a recommendation of any kind to members of council on that report. What I have is an unredacted note that is allegedly from the complainant, although this has never been confirmed to me by the complainant or her counsel, only by counsel for Mr. Dillon, versus a recording that I have that counsel is well aware of between the complainant and Mr. Dillon and the countless hours of interviews that I did with the complainant and others in the face of that. My hands remain tied today, although members of council can of course do as they wish. As an officer of the court and as the integrity commissioner, I have a legal obligation to do what is right and ethical. And absent confirmation from the complainant herself or counsel for the complainant that there was indeed an error or that she reneges on the allegations, I am unable to reopen the investigation or suggest anything with the report. Although of course I have no ability to direct counsel on what they wish to do with the report today. On November 24, 2024, Counsel Mr. Dillon again wrote to my lawyer and took the position, and this was a new position that counsel should be aware for, that in fact I no longer had jurisdiction to investigate the matter with the complainant because Mr. Dillon's lawyer was now taking the position 6 months later that I was in an alleged conflict of interest, given that I had commenced my own litigation against Mr. Dillon. On December 2nd, 2024, counsel for Mr. Dillon wrote to my counsel and advised specifically, it is our understanding that counsel for the Integrity Commissioner, Ms. Sheikh, has advised she does not possess the jurisdiction or authority to expunge the report. This has been confirmed in counsel's correspondence dated November 26th, wherein counsel clearly stated that she lacks statutory authority to expunge the report. And just to be clear, members of council have a copy of this letter as well. Mr. Dillon's lawyer then went on to direct this concern to the City of Brampton, saying under Section 223.6 sub 3 of the Municipal Act, the report's control lies with City Council specifically, and I trust at the time that City Council obtained their own legal advice either from City Solicitor or from external counsel, although of course I'm not privy to that information. On December 11, 2024, again I worked with City Solicitor and the City Clerk to appear before Council to update them on what had transpired and to seek some guidance. That was about 18 months ago, and it was a meeting very similar to this one. Since then, and since this has resurrected itself in the media, I updated counsel, and again, I contacted counsel for the complainant. Mr. Dillon's lawyer did provide me with contact information for a new lawyer that was representing the complainant allegedly. I contacted him. His name is Mr. Muhammad Alam. I spoke to him and I explained the situation to him. I explained to him that I was again taking steps to try to see if I could authenticate the note that was sent to council almost 3 years ago. And he then advised me that he has not had any communication with the complainant for the better part of 2 years, notwithstanding the fact that he represented her on a number of legal issues with the court, which of course I'm not going to get into, and had a good relationship with her for over 10 years. So I wanted to communicate to members of council that I have really done everything in my power to try and see first on a very preliminary and superficial basis to see if the letter that was presented to council in September of 2023 actually was from the complainant. And for the better part of 3 years, I have been unsuccessful in doing so. So under the circumstances, I simply don't want members of council to be left with the impression that I've been sitting on this or that I don't understand my responsibility. I have been Integrity Commissioner for quite some time. Members of council are aware of my worth ethic and how seriously I take any concerns raised, even ones that I eventually don't do anything with or dismiss. And in this situation, it was no different. So that's my summary report. To the extent that any members of council have questions for me or Mayor Brown, I'd be happy to answer them.
Questions? Maybe the one thing just to update council on Meniza is I believe there was a judicial review of this decision. Can you share with council what happened on the judicial review?
My report was upheld.
And I understand you're saying you can't get in touch with the complainant. If there is a settlement with the complainant, would that change your ruling? And is there any guidance you're seeking from council?
Mayor Brown, I don't know. I'm not privy to any information about a settlement between the complainant or Mr. Dillon. I'm not privy to any of that. My objective is simply to understand if the contents of my report are still accurate. And if I was able to connect with the complainant, I would be happy to revisit my report if in fact that's appropriate. But on the face of what I have today and what I've had for over 3 years, that simply is not appropriate. The comments that were reported in the media, that there somehow is some collusion between myself, perhaps city solicitor, and that I'm intentionally not doing anything with this report is not only inherently false, but it's wildly offensive.
Councillor Santos?
Thank you, through you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Meniza, for coming today. Just a quick question, because I appreciate that you have a busy day and you know what you're talking about, and you were talking really fast.
I always do. My apologies.
It's okay. So just a question. So the letter that, or when you were informed about the complainant withdrawing their complaint, what is the legal process in order to deal with that suggestion? My understanding is the first step would be to authenticate whether or not the signature is legit, and or contact the complainant to have a conversation. But what would those steps be in order to make sure that whatever letter was out there is legitimate?
That's a very good question, Councillor Santos. And just to be clear, the letter that was sent, and I say allegedly from the complainant because I still have not been able to authenticate it. The letter that was sent to the city and to members of council, it was never sent to me. It did not say that she was withdrawing the complaint from my office specifically. It was not directed to me. So if in fact, and again, we're talking, in hypotheticals here, so I want to be very careful, and I want to instead be focused on what the letter actually stated. My first step would be to authenticate that the letter in fact did come from the complainant. My next step would be to schedule a meeting with her, an interview with her, go through my report, and responsibly understand from her which portions of the report was she suggesting were no longer accurate. And without even knowing if this letter came from her, because it was never sent to me, it never referenced my report specifically. It didn't reference the specific allegations that were raised with me in terms of breaches of the code of conduct. Absent any of that, I would not be able to do anything. So most certainly, Councillor Santos, there is a very rigorous process that I would follow, and one that I take seriously. And I do want members of council to know that I did reach out to other integrity commissioners as well, just to seek guidance. So it wasn't that, I was off on a frolic of my own, so to speak. I did seek counsel throughout the years from, again, other ICs, just because this is a bit of a unique situation, although not entirely unheard of, and other council as well.
Okay, so do we need a motion? I don't see other questions. Oh, follow-up, sorry.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Chair. So I guess, Manisa, at what step in the process are you at the moment, considering you have not yet been able to authenticate the legitimacy of what is being suggested?
I am at a standstill, Councillor Santos. And again, I'm not in any different position today that I was in September of 2023 without authenticating the letter, without having an opportunity to speak to the complainant with respect to what was written in the letter. I'm not in a position to do anything. Certainly, if members of council are willing and able to offer me some direction beyond the steps I've taken on my own, I'd be happy to hear from members of council. But as it stands, I am not prepared to do anything with the report on my own, although of course I understand that members of council will do as they see fit.
And then, thank you, Manisa, and through the chair, my last question is just for clarification about your arm's length from council. When there is any complaint issued regarding the code of conduct and involves the integrity commissioner, are you acting as separate from council in any sort of investigation?
Is that question for me, Councillor?
Yes, it is. Yep.
Absolutely. I have an obligation in any investigative capacity to act entirely separately and apart from members of council. I mean, as council is aware, my job is to investigate alleged misconduct on the part of council. So I of course keep an arm's length relationship. In a unique situation like this, where there's already been a report that's been rendered because the investigation is entirely closed, I am able to speak to council, seek guidance, because we have a report that's been issued and of course has been on the city's website, as I understand it, for quite some time. But during the investigative process, I'm entirely arm's length for members of council.
Okay, thank you, Manisa.
Okay, I don't see any other questions, so we have to receive the delegation and the report. Moved by Councillor Powers, seconded by Councillor Fertini to receive the delegation. All those in favor? Motion carries. This takes us to the remaining announcements.
Thank you.
And I believe on announcements, we are now 6.3. Councillor Medeiros has sponsored the Rotary Ribbon Roll announcement.
Don't worry, I wouldn't have left just standing there alone. Good morning, Mayor Brown and council members. I'm Venora Spreen and I'm with Rotary Club of Brampton, and I am so happy and grateful to be here today to invite all of you and everyone else in the room, of course, to our somewhat annual Rotary Ribbon Roll event. This year it's happening May 22nd, 23rd, 24th, and the best news is everybody here knows how to get to it because right next door at Gage Park. So this fun-filled festival, springtime event, it really brings people, food, music, entertainment together in our beautiful Gage Park. Once again, we have a great lineup of musicians featuring some local favorites. Leah Holtom is back again with us for 2 days this time, both Friday night and Saturday. The Dave Murphy Band will be on Friday night. On Saturday, Leah Holtom is back again, and Let's Go, a new band for us. It's a Cars cover band. They'll be there to share their great entertaining. And it's not a new one, it's just a new name. It used to be the Mark Eakins Band. They're coming back as Pinky and M.E. I don't know why the name changed, but it's okay. We're happy to have them. And this year we have Fleetwood Nicks, which is a cover band for Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks, which sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun too. And closing with Freedom Train. Now Sunday we have a designated family day, and we're doing things a little differently. We're not having the bouncy castles, but instead we have some other inflatable games for kids to play. We really do focus on family and family environment for Sunday. We will have some great entertainment and cheerleaders, baton twirlers, roving entertainers. Like last year, the poor guy who came to do the stilts, we couldn't even let him out of the park. It was like, no, it's way too wet. We don't want that to happen this year, so let's say a few prayers for us. But we are going to have Battle of the Bands again in terms of the music lineup. And what's really cool is that one of our former Battle of the Bands bands, called the Allwells, they will be entertaining us as hired entertainment, which is really awesome, because they are all local high school bands. So it's really good. And of course, we'll be ending with the Mark Joseph Band. But you know what? What's a rib fest without the ribs, right? That's what really draws a lot of people to the park. So we have 4 ribbers this year. Brickyard and Big Texas Barbecue are coming back. Camp 21 and Jack the Ribber, I say that ribber, is coming for the first time. And you know, not everybody eats ribs or eats meat, but we have everything covered. So if you're looking for some vegetarian food, we have vegetarian, we have halal chicken, we have burgers, we have hot dogs, we have corn on the cob. And of course, we can't forget the ice cream. We have an ice cream truck that's on site too, which is awesome. So please, there's no reason to let the food keep you home. So great food, great music, and a wonderful park all adds up to a great festival. We really do hope that each and every one of you will attend. And while our sort of motive for doing this Rib Fest is really about community building and bringing people together in a beautiful location, we do have a goal to raise funds for the for Cancer Canada, Childhood Cancer Canada. I always mess up that name, but they're an organization that supports families who are going through childhood cancer issues. Thank you. Any questions? I did not. I would have, but you know what? The whole place would have been just a mess. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. I did attend last year and really enjoyed it. I noticed accommodations, but as a fan of ribs as well, it was a fantastic option. So thank you for everything.
Good.
Oh, sorry, Councilor Medeiros.
I think you stole my thunder there, because what I wanted to say, notwithstanding, you know, it is one of our signature events in the city of Brampton. It's a great time. People like the ribs. I love the corn on the cob and everything else. But was the importance of the event, and I think you already explained that it goes to a great cause. So it's not just about celebrating. I know we get a lot of local merchants as well, so it really supports the local community, helps our downtown. But was more about what you just said to help cancer families and so on. And I think it's so important. Thank you very much.
Communities. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Hope to see everybody.
Thank you. And our last announcement before photos is the CEO of Brampton Honey Badgers. Al, are you here? Come on up.
Thank you. My name is Al Whitley. I'm the new CEO of the Brampton Honey Badgers. Today I want to start with some gratitude and appreciation. In order for our franchise to not only survive in Brampton but thrive, we need the support of the city, and you guys have been tremendous. It all starts at the top with leadership from Mayor Brown, Councillor Torr, Councillor Power, many others have helped put this thing together for us in a short period of time and try and revive this franchise in Brampton. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Without you guys, this is not possible. I'm excited to announce our opening weekend, May 15th, May 17th. It's coming up quick. We are super excited. Our team is out in the community and is working very hard behind the scenes to put together a championship caliber franchising team on and off the court. And we can't do it without the support. We have been out in the community. We've heard the message. It's a tough time financially, challenging time for many Canadian families. And so we're trying to meet everybody halfway. We've dropped our ticket prices to $20 a ticket. Groups of 10 is $15 a ticket. This is an incredible value. It's premium live sports entertainment at an affordable community price point. So we're excited for the community support. Come on out to a game. We have family packs starting at $85, 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 drinks. Just an incredible value as we try and build a winner here in Brampton. And finally, I actually have some breaking news. We are actually doing a huge announcement tomorrow, but I fear it's an incredible time to share that now. Billionaire entrepreneur Mark Cuban has joined our ownership group. Yes, yeah. This is a landmark day for our franchise. This is a landmark day for our league, the Canadian Elite Basketball League, and this is obviously a landmark day for the city of Brampton. So we feel like we're making all the right alignments within the community. We ask for your support. No matter what we do, ultimately the success of our season will be judged on our attendance and people coming out and supporting us. So I look forward to seeing everybody there. I graciously ask for the opportunity to host you guys. Our team is ready. Please tell your neighbors, your friends, your family, everyone to come out. I think you'll enjoy what we're building at the CEA Center. Thank you for the time.
We have a few people on the board. First of all, Councillor Short.
Thank you, Al. Thank you for coming, making this exciting announcement and leaking that news a day early. I was going to say we got a fantastic trade. We got you here from Dallas, and Messiah Jiri's gone there now. So yeah. I think we got the better end of the trade.
We might have lost that trade, to be honest. But
oh, man. No, we're lucky to have you here.
Thank you.
And all the investment you've already made in such a short time into the Honey Badgers. I know a lot of community games are going to happen as well. You're out and about in the community all the time. I know we're doing a game with our economic development team at the Brampton Board of Trade. I think that's happening May 25th. Yes. If you are a business in our city, please reach out to our economic development team and see if you want to be a part of it, to come mix and mingle with other businesses that are interested and have a fun night out. And I think it is fantastic how affordable these games are, and a fun time for families, businesses. You can host your businesses there as well. So thank you to all the effort that you've already put into this, and I'm excited to see what's in the new season.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Councillor Power.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Al, it's been a journey, and I loved watching the journey, but we're giving kudos to other people. Leonard has really stepped up this year. I want people to know who you are, though. Where have you come from, and what have you done, and why this year is going to make a big splash, not only just because of Mark Cuban, but also Superfan and everything that you guys have done, but it's because of your leadership. So if you can just give everybody a quick heads up of who you are.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I do appreciate those kind words. Born in Belleville, Canada, raised in Victoria, BC. So I'm a very proud Canadian. I've spent the last 25 years of my professional career in Dallas, Texas, working for the Dallas Mavericks. Literally started at the bottom of the organization and worked my way up close to the top before I decided to step down a couple of years ago to pursue some other passions and projects, which has led me to Brampton. Incredible ownership under Leonard Asper. He's been incredible in terms of his support and willingness to do whatever it takes to make it a winner in Brampton and also for many, many years to come. So I couldn't pass up the opportunity. I'm a very proud Canadian. The game of basketball in Canada has exploded. This is our golden age with the team, with the NBA players we have, the youth development. Brampton is a hotbed for basketball and an incredible community. So, just to do my part and grow the game, to do it in a Canadian city was a can't miss for me, and I'm excited to be here.
And I'll just say one last thing. I know Councillor Keenan has been a season ticket holder. Myself, I've been a season ticket holder. Councillor Tour has been very supportive. We've been saying it for years, get out and support the Honey Badgers. If it's not the time now, there'll never be a time. So I encourage everybody to get out and support the Honey Badgers here in Brampton.
Thank you very much. And I'll just say, we have put together an incredible team this year as well. We're going to be very competitive. We're going to be relentless, aggressive, and we are going to win some games this year, unlike previous years. So we appreciate your support, and again, I thank you for your time and your kind words. Thank you.
Thank you. So now we're gonna take some pictures. If we could ask people here for Emergency Preparedness Week to come down, then followed by Economic Development Week, and then Dutch Heritage Month, and then I'll announce the others over there. Thank you. So Emergency Preparedness Week, come on down. and Economic Development Week and Dutch Heritage Week stay on standby. Thank you.
Can we do honey badgers next, please?
Thank you. And next up, we have 7.2, delegation from David and Dale Lang. You can come up.
Wasn't expecting to get called up so quickly. So don't worry, this is just a prop, not my speech.
Yeah.
So my name is David Lang. I'm a longtime Brampton resident and member of various environmental organizations in the city of Brampton. Chair and council, thank you to Councilor Palashi for the invitation to attend today's session. And we're talking about Heart Lake Road, and it's really rewarding to learn that Heart Lake Road will receive the permanent nature fencing along with the restoration of the nature corridors and turtle habitat. It's taken a long time and a lot of paper, and that's what this is, to get to this point. Dale and I became involved in the spring of 2013, and for 2 years got up close and personal with the carcasses of hundreds of snakes, frogs, turtles, and assorted mammals that had been schmucked by speeding cars along Heart Lake Road. Each carcass, dispassionately referred to as a wildlife vehicle collision, was duly documented according to species, gender, and weather conditions. The carnage was sickening and awakened a desire in us to do something. But we were not the first nor the last to be involved. The TRCA, under the direction of Vince Delia, first initiated the Heart Lake Road Ecology Monitoring Project, or HELREM for short, in 2011. And dozens of volunteers were recruited, including Chris McGlynn of the Brampton and Etobicoke Creek Project Team, and Leo O'Brien, who started Friends of Heart Lake. And then later, Lori Leckie and Christina Cicconetti were also involved. And those two, along with Ruth Tekiasu, ultimately formed Heart Lake Turtle Troopers, so I'm sure you know. Thousands of volunteer hours and dead carcasses later, and TRCA produced a professional science-based report that describing the dire prediction for the population of the animals if something wasn't done. So the challenge was what to do. Getting action took more than just a report. Maureen Harper, a retired veterinarian, used her professional credentials to get some press coverage and galvanized public opinion in favor of doing something. So in the winter of 2014, Dale and I were advised that if we produced another report to justify why Heart Lake Road should be designated as a cultural heritage landscape, it would afford protection that would help the animals. We invested hundreds of hours, spending days in Palma, in the archives, learning a lot about the history of the area and the process. But unfortunately, the designation remained elusive and the animals continued dying in large numbers. In early 2015, we approached Councillor Palashi, who facilitated meetings with staff, including, you may remember, Commissioner Dan Dzerzhinsky, Michael Wan, and engineer Bill Allison. And I believe that both Dan and Bill, if I'm not mistaken, are retired now, as am I, although sometimes I really wonder whether that's true or not. And staff were helpful, for the most part, and in coming up with schemes to slow down the traffic along the road. Traffic studies were done, wildlife signs were installed, paint was applied to create the illusion that the road was narrower than it was, and the animals kept dying. Ultimately, the city contracted TRCA to install a nature corridor under the road with protective fencing to discourage surface level crossings. Success. The death rates went down. More fencing and 2 more nature corridors were installed. Death rates plummeted. But the temporary fencing was just that. Temporary. Every year it needs costly repairs. Wildlife escapes through the gaps only to die while crossing. Yep. So I'm thrilled that we will now have permanent fencing which should solve the problem, I hope. While I celebrate the win for Heart Lake Road's natural heritage, it's difficult not to lament the effort involved, the time required before the results are achieved. We can't even do the studies we did in 2013 because of safety concerns along the road today. And there are so many other areas affecting the environment that require advocacy and public awareness. The conditions that led to the city declaring a climate emergency in 2019 are just as urgent today, and yet the city's response seems more muted than particularly in recent months. And I believe that I'm part of the majority who wants to see Brampton's 2040 vision become a reality, for the city to grow as a sustainable community, healthy and resilient economically, socially, and environmentally. One where the 15-minute city is the norm, where Vision Zero is more than just a catchphrase, where we are all working towards making the best use of our precious land, preserving green space and natural habitat, keeping our air and water clean, where people feel safe and comfortable leaving their cars behind and using transit or active transportation, where we trust each other in community, where we help each other to adapt to a changing climate, and where our carbon emissions start going down even as our population increases. There is always time for debate and discussion, but no time for fighting and disrespect. And with your leadership, I hope we can work together for a prosperous and sustainable future for the city of Brampton. Thank you.
Thank you, and I see Councillor Pleshy on the board, followed by Councillor Brar.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor, Acting Chair. Last week I spoke to the knowledge that I knew about Heart Lake Road, and the knowledge that I knew was from the tireless efforts that you two and others have put into trying to stop this high mortality rate on Heart Lake Road. And I can't remember if it was 2014 or the summer of 2015 that I think it was one of those first phone calls that it was a phone call or conversation with the two of you. It was like a pleading for help, and I've always been somebody that I care about a wildlife, and it truly, deep in my heart, it means so much to me. But seeing you two in your efforts in trying to accomplish this over the years has just been absolutely remarkable. And I thank you for bringing more context to the story in the past of who else was there, and those people certainly deserve to be recognized amongst people that have helped. But I have to say that you two, in what you do in terms of not only Heart Lake, but the work we did for Burnt Log to lower that density, the work that we've done on the Brampton Environmental Education Center, although a little bit, and more is coming, and look forward to those further discussions. But cycling in Brampton, you two are the advocates of Brampton that every city deserves, and I'm so proud to be able to represent the two of you. And I just thank you for all of that work that you have done. And with that, I'll kick it over to Councillor Brar.
Thank you, Councillor.
Thank you, through you, Acting Chair, Deputy Mayor. Thank you, Councillor Palashi, and definitely echoing some of the comments that he has made. Has been will be 4 years as a councillor representing wards 2 and 6, but truly Heart Lake is a gem, a hidden gem in the city of Brampton. And I remember when Councillor Palashi in the beginning used to say that, but it honestly is, and I believe more people have been discovering Heart Lake in going to this place. And I just want to say thank you to both of you, because without both you, this would not have been accomplished. So I know there's a whole team behind it too, but again, it starts with advocating, coming up here and making sure that you're fighting for what you believe in. I really, truly respect what you both have done. So Councillor Paleshia and I do have a surprise for both of you. We will be naming the Wildlife Eco Passage along Heart Lake Road in honor of the Langs family, and we'll just stand it up here. The Lang family Wildlife Passages, and Councillor Palashi, maybe you can say the other one.
The Lang Eco Passages.
The Lang Eco Passages. So in honor of our Lang family and all the work that you've done, we want to honor you, and we would like to have a picture with you. I know this is not the actual the signage, but it represents much bigger than this, and I want everyone to know how much work that you have done in this. And then maybe Dale, you wanna come on up? I think it's really means a lot. So thank you, both of you.
Thank you. And thank you for this honor, not expected.
It's okay. We'll take a picture. That's why you got. Okay, let's take a picture. So we're also going to bring up report 10.4.1 that corresponds to this. Do any members have any questions? If not, I'll get Councillor Pleshy and have a second by Navjeet Kaur Brar for both the report and the delegation. I don't see any questions, so moved by Councillor Pleshy and seconded by Councillor Brar for 10.4.1 and the delegation. All in favor? Motion carries. Congratulations. And now we want to thank staff too for all their hard work on this file. Moving on is 7.3, delegation from Kathleen Douglas, the Zonta Club. You can come forward.
Thank you and good morning. I understand that a motion was passed to name the Zonta Community Park, and we are very pleased to hear that great news. I'm here with members of my board of directors, and on behalf of the Zonta Club, I know there are some members of council who are not too familiar with Zonta, so if I may just take a couple of minutes just to tell you a little bit more about who we are. For those of you who may not be familiar with Zonta, let me proudly share with you some of the impact that the Zonta Club of Brampton-Caledon has made since 1974. Our club has vigorously fundraised to contribute millions of dollars to initiatives that directly support women, girls, and families across our communities. This includes funding programs that address the epidemic of gender-based violence, provide educational and advocacy opportunities, and strengthen community well-being. We offer scholarships and educational awards to the youth of Brampton through grants in STEM, Young Women in Leadership, Young Women in Business, and the Zonta Women in Skilled Trade Scholarship in partnership with Sheridan College, as well as sponsoring ZED clubs in secondary schools. We come to this council twice a year to request proclamations for International Women's Day and the 16 Days of Activism. Our annual awareness, education, and advocacy events contribute to grow with enthusiastic participation from our community partners. As a matter of fact, the upcoming Homelessness Summit in June arose from a conversation between Councillors Brar and Santos and the community leaders who were there, just to bring this issue to light. Our members actively participate in community and city-sponsored events and volunteer with Peel Human Trafficking Network, Peel Committee Against Women's Violence, the Brampton Women's Advisory Committee, the Human Services and Justice Committee, EFRI Hope and Help for Women, and many others. A valuable collaboration with Rotary and Kiwanis resulted in providing capital funds for the Family Life Resource Center service vans. Did you know, we heard a little bit about Ribbon Road, that during the pandemic, our members actually volunteered to deliver some of those meals because they could not, of course, have the event in person. So our volunteers were working with another organization to help their fundraising. As part of Zonta International, our work closely aligns with the city's priorities around safety, inclusion, and equity. We believe this park creates a public space that reflects the values of engagement, community, service, and opportunity for all. Because parks are where citizens gather, where families go, and where values are shared across generations. A name that reflects the contributions of an organization working to improve the lives of women and girls sends a powerful message about who we are as a city. The Zonta Club of Brampton Caledon focuses on building a better world for women and girls, and we are committed to ending gender-based violence, empowering women and girls, and advancing equity. This park, the Zonta Community Park, is a third space, an inclusive space that reflects these values. And when that sign is erected, someone will see the name and ask, what is Zonta? And we will proudly share what we are. In closing, the Zonta Club of Brampton Caledon is very proud to have this park representing who we are as an organization and our contributions to the community. We have made a significant impact in Brampton, and we created a positive and lasting legacy. So we are proud to have our community's partners partner with us, and respectfully ask that this park, named the Zonta Community Park, is attended by all the people in Brampton who want a third space. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have Councillor Santos on the board, followed by Councillor Brar.
Thanks so much, Deputy Mayor. Through you, thank you for the delegation today. Happily, the motion to rename to Zonta Community Park from Central Public School Park was in consent, which is fantastic news. And I'm happy that we were able to, over the past week, get some clarity as to what happened with that original request, and happy it's moving forward. I want to say thank you. This is the least that we could do for the incredible work that Zonta Club of Canada does for women and girls across the entire region. It's been an honor to work with Zonta Club and all the women's groups. I was saying at the Embrave event, actually, on Friday, that working with all the women's groups across the region of Peel, no one is competing against each other. We're all raising each other up and supporting each other, because the cause to end gender-based violence, intimate partner violence, which is an epidemic across this province and country, requires everybody to support each other. And that's what Zonta Club has done, what I have seen personally, and it's an honor to ensure that that park acknowledges your work. And on that note, I'm happy to receive the delegation and ask staff, as we go through the process, I'm hoping that we could get the sign up by July. But in other parks, I have seen not like different plaques that actually describe what the park is named after. And I would love to see a similar thing for Zonta Community Park, so that when people see and that it is renamed, they can read about Zonta Club and specifically your support for women and girls and ending gender-based violence and intimate partner violence. So thank you very much, and true honor to work with you and acknowledge Zonta Club.
Thank you so much. And for a long time, our Zonta Club has been very modest. And maybe this is because we are women in a patriarchal society. However, the fact that once the sign is up, everyone will know what Zonta is, and we encourage them to find out more. Thank you again.
Thank you, and we also have Councillor Brar on the floor.
Thank you, through you, Deputy Mayor. Just really want to say thank you, Councillor Santos, for bringing this forward, but also thank you to the Zonta Club for all the work that you have been doing, especially with women and girls, ending gender-based violence, intimate partner violence. I've seen the work you have been doing over the years, and it's a tremendous impact that you make. And I think this park would be perfect because it really sparked the ideas of what Zonta is, but also maybe someone maybe is wandering in the park, maybe needs help, and then stumbles upon this park and, reads that plaque and understands what you are there for. And I think that can really make that impact. So I just want to say thank you again for all the work you've done and your whole team. Just like Councillor Santos was saying, it's not about being higher than the other. All these groups have been working together, and that's what makes everything count. So again, thank you again, and congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So I have a motion moved by Councillor Brar and moved by Councillor Santos, seconded by Councillor Brar, to receive the delegation. The park naming was already passed in consent. All in favor? Motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
We'll move on to our next item, which is 10.4.2, which is a staff report regarding a request to begin procurement hiring of general contractor to complete early works construction services for the redevelopment of Ken Willens Square. Okay, Mayor Brown had held it, so we could hold the item, stand it down for now. Yeah, we'll come back to it. Okay. Moving on, we have, I believe, the planning, pardon? Public question period. Sorry, do any members of the public have any questions? Okay. We also have the committee reports, correct? That you, Councilor Pleshy, didn't you hold one for an item? I thought Councilor Vicente, did you hold it? Waste report, which was in camera. Perfect. Okay. So we move on to bylaws. Yep. Okay. I have a motion moved by Councillor Keenan and seconded by Councillor Maderos to approve the bylaws. All in favor? Motion carries, and then we are moving into closed session. So I will give till 11:30, 25 minutes. Yeah. Yeah. So I have a motion moved by Councillor Power and seconded by Councillor Santos to go into closed at 11:30. All in favor? Motion carries. See everybody.
Is it 10 minutes yet?
Oh, I didn't see the wait. Yes, I need you.
We have quorum, okay, see, we have quorum, so, we are going to report out in public session any actions arising from closed session. I'll have the clerk go through that.
Through Mayor Brown, in closed session, 19.1, 19.2 were approved on consent and not considered in closed session. 19.3 and 19.5 were also approved on consent and not considered in closed session. 19.4, this item was considered in closed session and direction was given, including that the motion below be considered in open session.
Okay, so 19.4 requires a motion, moved by our, I guess, the committee chair, Councillor Vasante, seconded by Councillor Keenan. Will this come back to council? Yes, do you not?
No, it won't be coming back to council. However, there will be future reports regarding the overall implementation strategy associated with the curbside waste collection being assumed by the city in October 1st, 2027.
Okay, so I'll make sure council had full, so Councillor Paletti, this is, it would not be coming back to council. Okay, we have, the motion, all those in favor? Motion carries. This takes us to, well, we held one item down, I believe, because I was out of the council. This is 10.42, and this is regard the Ken Willen Square redevelopment. And the question I wanted to ask on the record in council is, this week I received a message from one of the downtown businesses, David Harmsworth, who expressed concerns about veterans and the moving of the cenotaph. And my response was, I believe we have in writing from the Legion that this is something that they support and recommend. Could you just speak to that to make sure there's, it's crystal clear, I think it's fair to say, for the downtown councillors and myself, who represent this area, we've been pretty clear that we would not do anything that with a cenotaph that was not supported by our veterans and the Legion. And I think that's been one of our sticking points, that this would not proceed unless it had their unequivocal and clear support. So if I could ask one more time, and I've asked this to you outside of council, but do we have that in writing?
Through you, Mayor Brown, yes, we have that in writing from the Legion back in February. The Legion submitted an official letter acknowledging and endorsing the relocation of the cenotaph and the redevelopment of the square. And then as of this week, we also have correspondence from the Legion endorsing the report before council today. And staff continue to...
Is a copy of that letter in the report?
No, we just received the email after the time that the report has been written, but we can work with the clerk's office to have that to the minutes.
Correspondence?
If
Okay, terrific. Well, I mean, I think it's just, I think, I said the downtown councils, but I think it's fair to say every councillor defers to veterans when it comes to monuments celebrating veterans and those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. Councillor Santos.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair, I also received a message from David Harmsworth as well, sharing some of the similar concerns. So happy that it will be reshared on the website, but also wondering if we could also emphasize the consultation process, the public consultation process, the other outreach that was done in order to come to this, to the decision that we came to, and the amount of residents were actually voting on which design they wanted, knowingly that there would probably be a move for the cenotaph.
Sure, through you, Mayor Brown, through to Councillor Santos, for those listening online, and just to remind council, redevelopment of the downtown, in particular the squares, has been heavily consulted, probably one of the most consulted projects in this term of council. I'll turn it over to Andrea, though, just to touch on, highlight the chronology of consultation we've undertaken with the public at large and certain stakeholder groups.
Through the mayor to Councillor Santos, we have done extensive consultations. So just to develop the RFP for the redesign of the squares, we had extensive consultation with the public in Q3 of 2024. Subsequently, we initiated our design competition, and last year we had an open house with over 100 attendees and 250 participants online voting for our designs, with the winning design that we're advancing through detailed design. And we've had 3 excellent workshops with the Legion to garner their support and their design wishes into the design of the squares and the cenotaph. And they're particularly happy about the new memorial wall, which is being incorporated as well.
Yes, Councillor Santos.
Let's go.
Can we make sure that Councillor Santos has the mic?
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair. So just for clarification, on top of the public consultations that you shared, there were how many workshops specifically with the Legion?
Through the chair, we've had 3 extensive workshops with the Legion to advance the design to where we are today.
3 extensive workshops with the Legion. Thank you.
Councillor Tour.
Thank you, through you, Mayor Brown. I remember when we last talked about this, I did refer this to staff to ask we speak with Veteran Affairs.
We did. So we prepared a technical memo that documented some of those questions. We reached out to Veteran Affairs, and they then pursued us down to the Legion, and then the Legion at the highest level of the Legion gave us Branch 15, who is the sole keeper and authority for approvals with relation to the cenotaph.
Perfect. Can that be part of that correspondence as well that we're seeking to add on the record?
Sure.
Just to make sure that we have that taken care of as well, because I know that was referred.
We can
But
do
thank you for your work on this.
Perfect.
Thank you, Councillor Tour. Councillor Plushy.
So just want to bring members of council up to speed. I think you're up to speed now, but just to highlight this, because I did get a briefing on this this week. Our staff are doing a tremendous amount of work, working with Henry, working with the Legion, working with Veteran Affairs, working with even the community. So hats off to all the work that you guys are doing. Fantastic job. I think something that's this delicate, that's out there, you guys are definitely doing it extremely professional and doing it the best way possible for not only the citizens of Brampton, veterans, Veteran Affairs, the feds in its totality. But I think members of council should be certainly pleased over staff's work on this. So thank you very, very much for all the work that you're doing. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Plushy. They have put some great work. Thank you for highlighting that. We have the motion moved by Councillor Santos, seconded by Councillor Vasante. All those in favor? Motion carries. This takes us to our confirming bylaw. I have a motion moved by Councillor Medeiros, seconded by Councillor Tour, to approve the confirming bylaw to confirm the proceedings and decisions from this meeting. All those in favor? Motion carries. This takes us to adjournment. Our next meeting is on Wednesday, May 27th, one day after Councillor Plushy's birthday. And I have a motion moved by Councillor Santos, seconded by Councillor Keenan, to adjourn today's meeting. All those in favor? Motion carries.